to $500,000 makes a first-time regular season visit to one of NASCAR's most historic and beloved racetracks. From iRacing's virtual Rockingham Speedway, we say good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to Round 5 of the 2025 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. For the first time in series history, let's go racing at Rockingham. Trouble already. Salas gets turned. He could not get up to speed. And before they get to turn number 1, they're going to wad him up.
Secondary look at it and just try to digest everything. I don't know if these are the pre-race nerves or what, but you see here in the restart zone, Ottinger fails to get started. Not sure if he missed a shift or maybe the rear tire spun out, but Salas just gets stacked up behind. He gets tussled around by Novak, then by Luza, and then more drivers are in it. 6 karma car in there. Casey Kerwin found his way in the mess, and it's working in the battle between P3 and P4. Tucker Minter under fire quite a bit from the Steven Wilson car, and Evan, Steven has been on a tear so far in 2025, trying to match Keegan Leahy's tenure for all-time wins at 13.
Minter way up onto the outside, trying to spool that thing up. And how about 2 challenges at once? Minter to the inside of Wilson for third. Up front, it is Lopez to the inside of Alt for the race lead. Not going to be able to make it stick on the bottom. He'll tuck back in line, but Jordy Lopez is far from done, and Dylan Alt going to have to start thinking about how he can play defense.
And McCallus is in the thick of it all. There's Cozy Jr. to the inside, and how about up front? The first proper challenge for the race lead decided quickly. Tucker Minter to the head at lap 59.
So I wondered aloud, what would he bring to the table that was different, and he just full committed to the inside, cleared the 47 halfway through the corner, and never looked back. And after leading the first 57 laps of this race consecutively, Dylan Alt now finds himself back in the number 2 spot. And what can the Logitech G entry of Tucker Minter do up front? If that 97 is the better car, can he try to gap that 47 and lead a little bit, courtesy of Minter? Keep an eye on those intervals on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, mid-pack, it is still chaotic in all of this. Christopher Hill and others trying to take advantage of maybe some tire differences. 3 wide for a brief moment, as that number 96 car, who we saw down on pit road about 13 laps ago, is trying desperately to find his way through this hornet's nest on the bottom. 3 wide again now on the exited turn 4.
You know what this is, Evan? Pandemonium through the mid-pack. They are all over just trying to find an upper hand, but at the moment you see that long line of cars up to the outside wall. That's where all the speed is because of this long run. You put enough momentum on the bottom, it slickens up, and now everyone's going up high like we saw in the practice session earlier on this evening, and now we're getting pit stops from the front group. Here is Steven Wilson, followed by Bobby Zelensky in, and sort of interesting to see how Christopher Hill cycles in all this with his early stop, but 2 of the drivers inside the top 5 are in this time.
Strategy. And who is down next? Still Minter up front continues to lead this race.
You know, you're thinking, Evan, that if you're coming down pit road now from the front, you don't want to be involved, and there goes Femi, gets slammed from the back by Taylor Hurst, entering turn 4, and that's the exact situation I was worried about. Everyone clammed into such a short real estate space that someone was going to find trouble, and Femi, who was just on the braking marker to enter the pit lane at 40 miles an hour, Taylor Hurst was on the inside going through and didn't catch it enough time. Yellow flag out for just the 2nd time tonight at lap 69.
Wide and could not yield the position. I just think that 7 would have wanted to be on the apron quicker and maybe avoid it, but let's watch.
Yeah, you'll see that blue and black number 33 get to the inside. He's already 3. There's Steven Wilson on fresh tires, and there's just nowhere to go for Hurst. I mean, Femi is just trying to get to the apron. Hurst, I think, believes that he can get up the racetrack in enough time that he will avoid Femi, but Femi's still on the racing surface by the time you get to those 3 hash marks at the bottom end of the speedway, and so Hurst sees the 7 slowing down. He can't go up because he'll tank slap Steven Wilson and cause an even bigger wreck, so nowhere to go for Hurst, and unfortunately, he's on the unlucky end of things. Hurst has had a rough season to start, made even rougher by this crash. That pass for the top spot as we get a look through the top 10. How about Blake McCandless? Was in the thick of things to the top 15, and now is there on the bottom as here comes Bowden finding some success. Can he get it done through 3 and 4?
We saw Jordy Lopez try early in this race to get around Dylan Alt on the bottom. Couldn't do it. And in one swing of the bat, how about that one? Colin Bowden inside in 3 and 4. It is his new race leader at the end of lap number 79. And he's enjoying that one. He's out in front behind the wheel of the number 6 Ford for RFK Racing. And now if you're Tucker Minter, what do you do? He knows we're talking about him. What do? Can you hang there in the number 2 spot? Remember, Dylan Alt got passed for the lead. He trickled down to thirds. Minter has been in some dirty air before. How can he hang in relation to the leader? Or is Colin Bowden going to have an opportunity to open things up? This battle right here, tail end of the top 10. Urashak going the wrong way. The 40 dives in line. McCandless gives him a shunt into turn 3 and drives underneath him. This is for 7th and 8th position to try to get to cozy 4 position. And again, if we get a yellow flag, that would be the lucky dog spot to get back onto the lead lap. Well, the 6 car, Colin Bowden, had been unchallenged for some time, but race leader no longer because Tucker Minter down the back straightaway, able to put a move on him. And for the first time in this race, we have a race leader as Minter goes back to the top of the scoring pylon into number 97. Replay of what that near miss was amongst the Apex cars, bottom of your screen. Both of those team cars getting together on the entry to turn number 3. Very good job to quickly recover them. Probably not going to get any damage in that one, but for Cody Bias and company, not really what the Apex Racing team wanted to see. That could have been a lot worse, though, still. Blake McCandless, his constant and steady improvement all night long has gotten into a top 10 spot. Is that throwback number 8 Chevrolet going to be able to maintain that to the end? He's got strong pressure now from Dylan Alt, who led 57 laps earlier in this race to the inside, trying to make a move for P9. McCandless, defensive on the outside, not going to go down without a fight. And those live points on the right-hand side of our screen, Kenneth, the 4-point margin right now in favor of your P2 runner, Zach Novak.
And you think back to the product of this situation here with 34 to go.
A treacherous game amongst the leaders. Look at that 36 car, high to low, trying to make some moves is Kwame Scott.
All I'm going to say, Evan, I do not want to be that guy that makes the commentator's jinx happen. I've already done it before. I don't want to do it again. But Scott getting aggressive here on Lopez, and the fight sticks through to turn 1. That's a great place to make pass attempts, that hard braking zone to a sharper radius through the first 2 corners. And as long as you can slide up in front of the other guy through the middle and the center of the corner when you're getting back on that throttle, and when you're stuck in dirty air, you have to wait a couple of seconds past just to finally get on the throttle and get the momentum off the corner. Lopez is going to lose a ton, though, off of that one very sequence, dropped at least 2 to 3 spots just because of that sling to the inside from Scott. And now up the road, look at Tyler Gary, a slide job moving 3 and 4. What a pass.
But it's all of these battles, the 2 wides, the 3 wides, and so on and so forth, that he's got a front row view of in many cases as he's starting to lap the field that make him nervous. You see that 77. Wilson has fallen to 17th position. It continues to get worse. So while Zach Novak P2 might be a bit disappointed about a race win maybe slipping away from him here, P2 should be enough for Novak to lock up that segment championship, assuming nothing changes in the final 3. Couple hundred more feet until this race is official for the number 97 car as he looks to lead 100 laps on route to the win. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Strange to say that 2024 felt like a down year for him. He still won a race. He still made the playoffs, but it was hard to compete with his rookie campaign in 2023 that saw 4 trips to victory lane. It's going to be a return to form for the driver of the 97, 3 straight seasons with a race win in iRacing's Top Series. Minter wins at Rockingham. This winning moment is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of eNASCAR, as Tucker Minter, 5th career trip to victory lane, and continues the streak of being a race winner now in all 3 of the seasons in which he has competed here in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, and looks to become one of few to make the playoffs in 3 consecutive seasons. Is William Byron Esports back? I'll tell you what, that 97 car had a lot of speed tonight. He leads a perfect 100 laps.